Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers.
Hey everyone, this is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and I'm here at the Atlanta Jewelry Show, and we got a special episode here. We got a bunch of cool people hanging out with us. As always, we got Lisa Dillon.
Hello, Guy.
Hey.
So good to see you. This is my first podcast during the Atlanta Jewelry Show, because I've been real busy.
Nice.
And I am so thrilled with our guest today.
Absolutely, but we also have Chuck Kaler from Anthony Jewelers.
And Southern Jewelry News, Mid-America Jewelry News.
Absolutely, and our special guest. We have everyone's special, but our special guest is
Special guest.
special guest is Christy Davidson with
Hello.
RDI, and you're going to tell us about some cool stuff. And so, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
So let's start. So first,
Welcome, Christy.
Yes,
just
thank
tell
you.
us that you have a new program out there, and it's called, I'm looking at it, Rare and Forever Natural Diamonds. So what is it?
So, our RDI work for RDI Diamonds, and they
Out
have
of Rochester,
out
New
of
York?
Rochester, New York.
Shout out.
Yeah. And we have a separate brand, which is Rare and Forever Natural Diamonds, that is exclusive to us, that allows us to screen our diamonds for no BGM. Now,
Yes, and this is rough diamonds, not
This-
faceted. This is the rough.
So this is the rough that we're screening for no BGM, which is that brown, green, and milky hues that can come in a diamond. We're making sure our rough does not have it before we go into that faceting and that cutting process. So on top of that, when you have a natural beautiful diamond with no BGM, that diamond's going to sparkle like it's natural, beautiful self it's supposed to do, with no hinder of a hue. And it also is graded by its light performance. So with that light performance report that we put on our certs, it's guaranteeing your customers and consumers that it's going to sparkle everywhere she goes.
Nice.
So, and then we go one step further. We
Okay.
like to our diamonds are also graded by AI technology. So I like to use the word advanced intelligent grading. So it's graded by a computer, which is the most advanced graded diamond out there today. It's the most accurate.
Nice.
So you were telling us earlier that every time it grades a diamond, that it actually learns more and it gets better and better and
Yep.
better at grading.
Yep.
But now with the Rare and Forever, talk to us about the qualities that this can come in. You know, is this strictly the VVS one in the flawless category?
Yeah. So the nice thing about Rare and Forever, there's no extra facets to it. There's no extra, we're not adding anything extra to it. So it goes as low as I1 and it goes up to a VVS, goes as low as a K in color, goes up to a D in color. So we have wide ranges if you're looking. So I would say, in a range, if you're looking to compare pricing, you're not too much. You might be a 3 to 10% more than your typical GIA stones or your typical other graded diamonds. But we try to let the jewelry store pick where they want to be. So if you sell more of the lower price point and you want to kind of be more competitive, then we'll stock you with that. If you want to be on the higher end but you can have a mix, so you can hit every customer's request.
So then, like we were talking earlier, then instead of a diamond being an I1, it's the best I1. It's going to be the I1 with the most scintillation. It's going to be the
Yep.
SI1 with the most scintillation.
100%. So the cool thing is when I'm at our booth, I'll show in the jeweler, I actually show him a J, and I ask him, I give it to him. I don't talk about color and clarity at all. I'll show him it, and I'll ask, what color do you think that is? They always come back with a G or an H. And then when I tell them it's a J, they say, no way. Show them the cert. Because a J without those hues presents itself as a beautiful diamond without hindering, showing that yellow hue. So a typical diamond we think is a J, faces a Rare and Forever diamond will face up a lot brighter, and you will be fooled every time.
So if a retailer wants to carry this product, I'm looking at something on the counter here. What is this here? What is this flip chart?
So this is our flip chart. So I personally do all the training. So I actually love it. I've worked in the retail jewelry world for 23 years, but on the retail side of the jewelry, I've been in 18 years. So I managed 2 jewelry stores, started off at K Jewelers, So I've gone.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I started.
That's
I did
not a
end.
shout out to Kay.
Yes, no, nada. That's why I moved on. But I do the training. So where I totally invest into these jewelry stores that take this brand on, this is the flip chart that goes into their stores. We provide them with all the material they need with a display. We give them the marketing material. We give them the tools for training. But then you also get me to personally train your staff one-on-one. Okay? Not in a group setting. I've been in the jewelry world. I understand, and I've trained my staff. If you do it in a group setting, you've lost half of them.
Yeah.
Because people learn and sell different ways. Are you a technical seller? Are you a personal, emotional seller? So what I do is I sit and work with individually each staff member, figure out how do they sell, and then I train it based on their selling type. So what happens is wrapped around that is I can relate and adapt, and I really work well with them. They feel confident to go and start to sell these without feeling that jitter of selling a natural grown diamond now, because you got to think they're so used to selling lab. Now get them to sell a $3,000, a lab grown for $2,000, now go up to a $6,000 natural diamond and have the confidence to sell that. I give them the confidence to sell. I've one quick little story. I went into a jeweler that had this brand. They hadn't sold a stone. They did well. It blocked off. They hadn't sold one in a year. I went in personally, and trained their staff one by one, left. They sold 6 diamonds in a month and a half.
Wow.
But it takes it to the level of individually training them versus a group setting or doing something that isn't going to be relatable. So it's just taking an avenue of something that they thought they knew how to, and then retraining and giving it from an emotional part or a technical part. Rare and Forever has so many points to it. It's crazy. We have the AI technology, but you also have the blockchain that comes along with our Rare and Forever diamonds. That blockchain gives the journey of the diamond. So if a customer wants that information, you're going to share that.
So explain the blockchain for anybody that doesn't know it.
So a blockchain basically is a digital copy of the journey of where it is ethically sourced, which is most important right now.
It's kind of the provenance of the diamond.
It sounds like that's what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the most
We're
important.
used to saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got where it was cut, how it was polished. We know where it just literally gives a breakdown. Then it puts the jeweler that has sold it, and then it registers it all into the name of the customer that has bought it. So
does it name the bench jeweler who said it?
It does not.
Sorry,
We always get cut out. We're always on.
I can make you your own certificate if you like me to.
Well, I have a question for
Gold
Christy. Training is so important in our industry. We're constantly needing to do that, and it's all the time. It's cyclical. You still have to do it. But with your experience with RDI, I mean, you're saying, hey, you train people one-on-one, and they're starting to sell more.
Yeah.
Is that specifically what you're doing now? So if we're talking to existing, or if RDI's existing customers are listening, and maybe they're thinking, wow, I haven't sold any of that. They call you, and you set an appointment now. You're in Rochester.
Well, so I live in Michigan.
Okay, you live in Michigan, but what if a guy down in Florida needs you?
So we do one of two things. I will set up Zoom trainings, because obviously I'm only one person, and so I can't travel everywhere. But I will do Zoom one-on-one trainings, which I've been very successful with as well.
That's
so
great.
We set up those times. So, and then if I'm in their area, you betcha I'm going to go visit their store.
Yeah.
I've been traveling since, oh my gosh, February 25th. I have not been home yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to, IJO show. Then I went and visited a ton of stores and did training. So I do go visit stores.
Wow.
Went down to Fort Lauderdale just to train one of our stores that hadn't had a actual store visit for training. So I went and worked with their staff down there. I went to Jacksonville. I went to St. Augustine, I did personal training. So if I'm out and about, I will visit their stores and do one-on-one trainings.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
Well, let's
And you
also
don't get that from any other brand.
No,
I
you
will
don't.
tell you that. Like, there's no one else
no
out there
one's
that
doing
does
that.
the personal.
Well, Jess, and then, before we wrap up here, tell us about RDI as well. Just kind of give us a quick explain to everybody what RDI Diamonds.
So RDI is one of the largest wholesaler loose diamond companies, and they're phenomenal. I mean, the staff, you got to interview Aubrey, for one of their sales reps, but they are one of a kind people. They are phenomenal. I couldn't do what they do in the office every day, but they're your memo diamond. They will memo you a next day free shipping. They take trade-ins, so like upgrade for life. Same thing with RNF. You get upgrade for life. Same thing with you do with RDI. So they'll memo you diamond out, a couple diamonds. If you don't sell them, send them back. So
Now, what's RDI's position on the lab-grown versus natural?
So we support our jewelers where there's need. We do carry lab grown, but we are seeing an uptick in natural in across the board. And this is why Rare and Forever, in my position, is if a jeweler wants to set themselves apart from every competitor around them, this is their ticket for their staff to feel confident selling natural diamonds again. I'm not joking. This gives them the confidence. This gives them a story. This gives them something to present to their consumer.
And there's some charities that are involved in this
There
that
sure
y'all
is.
donate.
So we have two charities that we support, and one is Diamonds Do Good, which is where we get our sourcing our diamonds from. We give back to the communities and support their the communities where we're polling. And then Cure is a childhood cancer association. So families that are suffering with a child with cancer or blood disorders, we give back to the families.
Okay.
So every purchase is a heartfelt, warm feeling too.
Okay, so now somebody listening to this podcast is going to say, all right, I want that.
I need Christy in my store now.
How do they find you?
So you can call RDI. My direct extension is 160, but you can also email me at cdavidson@rdidiamonds.com. So you can email me and say, Christy, I need to talk with you. Or you can call RDI's number. My extension is 160, and you will get me directly.
Do you know what trade shows they can stop by and see you at?
So we are part of RJO and IJO, are in Atlanta, but we also will be at JCK, so that will be the next show that you will see me at, and we do Centurion.
Yeah.
So we are part of a lot. But in the meantime, don't wait. I tell you what, I'll tell you the jewelers. If you got next door neighbor that gets Rare and Forever first, then you're out of luck.
Okay, so is it going to be market exclusive?
We're not going to go on top of each other and put one across the street, but I tell you what, don't drag your feet on it, because if you do, you could be missing out.
And how long has this program been available?
So we've been about 3 years. It was just before COVID. And then COVID kind of put a little damper on the brand, but now I'm so excited about it, and they've got me as a big cheerleader, but it's growing quickly.
Well, good. Well, thanks for coming in and telling us about it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Look at RDI and your recent edition of Southern and Mid-America Jewelry Days. And thank you so much, Christy.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.